everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time visiting, welcome. My name is 𝐷𝐼𝐻𝐿. This is a channel where we talk about fragrances and arts. Today I could not be more excited because I am doing a collaboration with Deb and Gib, and we are doing something extremely fun. And the game is about choosing artists who move us, whose work we love, and we're going to try to match them, their work, their artistic expression with fragrances that we think go well with all that. So please, I will be linking Deb and Gib's information in my description box. And the whole idea is to leverage on our content and for you to see what this collab is about between the three of us. So I very much urge you to check out their content and their art, their artists, and the fragrances that they match their artists with. So my first artist, I think we agreed on 3 artists. And my first artist is Cynthia Erivo. She is a British actress, songwriter, singer, and she is a recipient of many awards. And for those of us who are familiar with Broadway, we know her as having played Sally in The Color Purple on Broadway. So that's the role that Whoopi Goldberg played in the original movie with Steven Spielberg, Color Purple. And the range of movies and acting that she is able to perform at the highest level, playing Sally in The Color Purple, and then moving on to play another extraordinary role. We know her as Harriet Tubman in the biopic movie Harriet, and that's an extraordinary woman. It's a stylish woman, it's a spicy woman, it's a spirited woman, it's a talented woman. And I have matched her with, actually, she said that she used Myrrh and Tonka by Jo Malone. So it's definitely a perfect match for her. Interview, she also says that this is a fragrance that she also uses. Myrrh and Tonka by Jo Malone is just this Oriental fragrance, and it's just nobility and sensuality packed into an incredibly beautiful and seductive fragrance. There were 2 other fragrances that really works for her also, and I've also decided to match her with Penhaligon, the Ruthless Countess Dorothea, because this is also an Oriental vanilla fragrance, and it has the ginger, it has the cinnamon, it has the cinnamon wood, and it has also some freshness, some bergamot, some sage, and that's so peaceful. There is a certain clarity, there is a certain peacefulness. She is in those, receiving all those incredible awards on the red carpet and everything. I know that she has used Monsieur Dada. So clearly I don't have a Monsieur Dada yet. The Monsieur Dada is a Kriegler fragrance that's extremely high-end, and it is very masculine, it is very bold, it is very spicy. But I think a fragrance that would also be a perhaps substitute for that would be this Gemme Erea. This is also a very spicy fragrance, and it's also a very beautiful masculine fragrance, although it's also feminine. Le Gemme 𝐕𝐢𝐝𝐬 le Gemme Erea. Now let's move to our second artist. Our second artist is a visual art artist. Hard to really place him in a specific category. He is an enigma to this day, really. And he is none other than Jean-Michel Basquiat. He is one of the artists who have had his art auction for the one of the highest auctioned art piece. I think over $110 million. Unfortunately, his life was very short. He passed when he was just 27, but he left a lifetime of work. And, you know, he studied as a genius teenager and as a graffiti artist. Like he says that when I'm painting, I'm not thinking that I'm doing art. I think about life. And sure enough, his work, his signature painting style is just, you know, we can see here obsessive scribbling, elusive symbols and diagram and masks and skulls and imageries, and a lot of his work are just shown with the organs exposed, and, you know, as in an anatomy book. And it's unclear whether we're talking about creatures that are dead or they're just being dissected and so forth. But what it comes down to is the work captivate people. Goes to Saint Basquiat, Jean-Michel Basquiat, with two equally unconventional saints. The first one more unconventional, and it's 1969, Female Christ. It's 1969, Female Christ. And just like Basquiat's work, this saint is equally unconventional. It is inspired after a 1969 event where a woman named Leni Adler Pedersen and an artist born no God decided to do a performance, and the act is known as the Female Christ because it involved the woman Lene walking in Copenhagen Stock Exchange in the nude with a cross in her hand to symbolize a let's say reincarnations of Christ, and in protest to the all sort of male-led capitalism in that stock exchange, just like Jesus somewhat chased the vendors in that temple. So it's very, I would say, shocking, but it's essentially, it was one of those performances that to this day symbolize how art is used as social movement to create social consciousness. And I think a lot of the art by Jean-Michel Basquiat, although we don't necessarily understand it, but something about it touches us. We can see a lot of the emotion, a lot of the pain, and a lot of the life in the painting. And life is, the painting looks almost like child sometimes, especially the early painting, but even later paintings, childish in a way, but undeniably emotional. And that's what art tends to do. And this fragrance right here, 1969, Female Cries, I think really goes with the spirit and the art of Jean-Michel Basquiat. It began very, very earthy to just start with this fragrance, because it begins with yucca lipstick, with pimento, just turned into this beautiful patchouli fragrance. Just like the art, it begins very rough, it looks very rough cut, but it still attracts you with its beauty somehow, with inexplicable emotion. And this fragrance with the amber, with the cinnamon, with the vanilla and geranium, just end up being an extremely pleasant, almost reflective and contemplative and beautiful fragrance to wear. I also think that Success is the Essence of New York by Bond Number 9, which is also, I think, referred to sometimes as for Andy Warhol. Success is a Job for in New York, is also goes with Jean-Michel Basquiat's artistic expression, because he was very close to Andy Warhol. He became very successful in New York, and a lot of his work he has a lot of protests of capitalism, but then again he became very, very successful. And these dollar signs also, we have Andy Warhol pop art, Andy Warhol pop art that also has a lot of the dollar sign. And this also, like the Female Cries, is a very spicy fragrance. Here go really well with Jean-Michel Basquiat's work. There is a collection of candles that are made by Givaudan School in honor of Jean-Michel Basquiat's work. So they feature his work, his artwork in the container. So this one is the Glen, is the well-known Glen art work. The detail is just incredible. That's one of his later work where he's much more advanced. And this one is a patchouli scent. I also have what they call, I think they call this one his blue candle. And this one has some of his early work. And this one is amber, and the wood notes really goes well with this type of early work that he did. Another early work is this one, the White Trumpet. And this one is a very cheerful almond and cherry, where we see the art is very energetic and vivid and rapid and thoughtful. So I have a lot of candles of Basquiat and other artists also around, and I just love lighting them. Last but not least, we are scenting an artist that many of you may not know, but many of you will also know. And if you don't know Beethova Obas, you definitely want to know him. He's never come in town where I live, and I have not gone to his performance. Beethova Obas is a Haitian artist. He is a songwriter. He began in the 90s, and he's one of the most inspiring and the most talented singer-songwriter from Haiti. And his music, his voice is just so beautiful. It's just amazing. The lyrics that he composes are just so meaningful. You know, they are fun, they are beautiful, they are meaningful, they are deep. is just, and then he is just handsome inside out. Every time I think of this fragrance, I seriously think of his music. And so therefore, this is why I am matching Music for a While by Frederic Malle, and the perfumer is Carlos Benaim, and I am matching this with Beethova Obas. This is a fragrance that began with, since it's evening, it's just the perfect evening fragrance because it begins with this lavender note. Oh my gosh. Not just a story book lavender, you know, because Beethova is not a storybook. He's smooth, he's gentle, he's beautiful, but he is, make no mistake, an extremely stylish and beautiful singer. So this is a very urban, it's a very upbeat, it's a very high class lavender. It's lavender absolute. Just like being hanging in the Rive Gauche in Paris. It's very addictive. And just like a beautiful music that Beethova would compose, the middle note from the opening with this beautiful, rich, relaxing and beautiful lavender, the middle note is met with zesty, fruity notes like mandarin orange and bergamot in perfect proportion, in perfect, in a composition that is just masterful. And then the base is patchouli, caramel sugar, very sweet, very smooth, and vanilla. Now, another element in the middle, actually, that I also mentioned that really brings this fragrance to its modernity, just like the beautiful music of Beethova Obas, it's the pineapple. So the pineapple brings this composition to this modern, beautiful. I'm just so in love with Music for a While. I just can tell how much I love this fragrance, and I think it works perfectly with the work and the inspiration of Beethova Obas. And what's interesting also from an artistic perspective, Beethova Obas is from a family of artists, and I am just so proud to also own his father's artwork. It's one of the most stirring art piece that I own, of the most iconic artists from the 60s that Haiti has produced. And the work is all about, it's very political, let's put it this way. And it's the emotion that people have from political situation that oppress them. And it was just such a pleasure for me to do this collaboration with Deb and Gib. It's just been one of the most fulfilling things I've done so far in YouTube, to do this collab with just those two beautiful, beautiful and knowledgeable YouTubers. I hope you have enjoyed this game that we've played, and please let's continue this game. Put in your comment your artist and what you would, your favorite artist, and what you would scent your favorite artist with. So I thank again Deb and Gib for doing this wonderful collab with me, and I just couldn't have been happier. And I would please ask you to subscribe to the channel if you have not yet done that, and to like. I would very much appreciate. And until next time, bye.